Hey there everyone, Matt here from Gameloft, and welcome to our very special launch event for Modern Combat Versus, our brand new competitive multiplayer first-person shooter, and it's available right now. You can download it for free on iOS, Android, and Windows. But I know some of you might be asking, what is Modern Combat Versus all about? Well, we've got a huge range of unique playable characters, each with their own very special abilities. We've got adrenaline-pumping, fast, frenetic multiplayer action, the likes of which you've never seen. And you know we're bringing the visual style with awesome next-gen visuals. Put simply, Modern Combat Versus is unlike any mobile FPS you've ever experienced. And if you've never played a shooter on mobile before, man, you are in for a treat. This is the very definition of next-gen gaming in the palm of your hand. So let's get down to business. Well, we've rounded up some really awesome, talented pro gamers. We've got YouTubers in the house, and we've brought in a couple of our own dev team members as well. So, without further ado, let's jump into some action, let's meet the teams, and let's get this thing started. First up, we have Team Octo. They're looking to claim victory in today's inaugural event with some unique, versatile strategies. Starting off the roster is Ben, most notably known as Codename Pizza on YouTube. Then you've got Shane, professional competitive player for Team Vitality, followed by Petey, competitive pro player for Team Millennium, and lastly Ollie, game designer at Gameloft, rounds out the squad. Jumping over to Team Corp, this well-balanced roster is primed and ready to dominate the competition and secure the win today. Up first, Mojo, known on YouTube and Twitch as Mojo on PC. Next, B-Nates Gamer, veteran YouTuber in the modern combat and mobile FPS scene. And then Quicker, competitive pro player and a teammate to PT on Team Millennium. To wrap it all up is Dan, level designer at Gameloft. These two teams are locked and loaded. Let's see who comes out on top.
All right, well, that's the players, but we are going to be bringing you all the action from our next series of games. My name is Bryson. Joining me here on the desk, of course, Lemon Kiwi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm excited for this one as well. Of course, we're going to be playing best of threes in each series. We'll keep playing series until we find our winner, but we've met the teams. Let's talk about what they're going to be playing. Jen, do you want to explain zone control?
Well, zone control, there will be 3 different points on the map. Only one will be spawned in. Both teams will try and battle each other and kill the other team at the end of the day to get that 100% mark and get the map win.
Let's get right into this one. The two teams have, of course, selected from their 12 agents they currently have. Let's jump straight on board with Peter, because Peter's playing one of the more unique agents, because he doesn't have a gun. He has a sword, and it is one of the defender characters, very heavily armored, very high health. It's going to be one that gets into the mix, and in a close zone like this, may come down very important. Petey already going in, trying to take him down, and he is managing to do it as well, but has been poisoned.
The poison is a really good counter for him because it not only slows him down so he can't even slash, he can't turn, but as you were saying, Ronan, great defensive character, and he can dive and get kills as well, and he can also act as a bait, so while everybody's worried about Ronan in the point, his teammates can get the kills.
Right now you see them coming back in for a stack. He's going to be the core squad trying to lock this one down. They're going straight in with a tower as well, using that pulse shield to push into the hill. They're trying to knock him out here as well. It's so effective as well, but poison and flame will go through that shield, meaning you need to have either a blaze or a cult to shut them down.
There's a lot of kills going down, 30% in favor of the red team already, and it's not looking good for the blue.
It certainly isn't. However, it has now changed hands. It's changed hands again. We see Petey going back in there. They've got Tower and Ronan actually ending up shutting it down. And here comes the stack. We're looking at them coming through now. It is going to be the Corp trying to push in. They've got Swift going up there. He ends up taking out Shane, but he is going to get heavily stunned there as well. And you see the tanks come running at him. That's not something you really want to see coming at you. Ronan with his sword and Tower with his pulse shield.
Yeah, and that's a team wipe for Team Red, and they're going to have to regroup. Blaze just got taken down, and you got Pizza with his shield, and he's able to defend his team and also try and bash him, but here comes one in his way, and he's able to get that one. Great zone deflection. He's got another shield in the way. However, he's poisoned. He could be going down any second.
It is, and you can see they're really struggling to get into this one at all. all of the strength of Octo is just holding this right now. And you've got to say, maybe it's because they're running 2 defenders. They've got, you know, Tower holding it down and Ronin. That's a lot of health to kind of try and take out of the hill. And they've also got Shane. Shane's now running Blaze. And Blaze is effective because he will be able to punch through any of those shields that are up in this game.
I like the choice of Ghost from Ollie to at least hit that flank. When you have sort of Tower being not as mobile as other players, he can come around and at least turn the direction of the shield to allow his teammates an opportunity to get his health down.
Well, we can see it's trying to switch sides here once again, and it will be the Corp that ends up taking it now. And we can actually see Minu's been picked up here by Ollie. Ollie is going to be trying to use Minu and the speed link. Allows the speed. There we go. Speed now coming in. Unfortunately, takes a little bit of a wrong turn. Not quite able to get into it as that speed runs out. But fortunately, it refreshes really fast. So you can keep using it. Ends up taking down quicker. But that is the only kill they will get before Swift ends their chance.
And it looks like we're seeing a comeback from Team Corp. And you're going to see Creeper trying to activate his ability, looking for a kill here. Ronin's right in front of him. Is Ronin going to go for the slash? Who's going to win this battle? Creeper's still alive. He's trying to teleport out of that situation. And Ronin is still alive. He's able to run out of that.
Yeah, that Vortex Rattle is really powerful against someone like Ronin. Because Ronin needs to be up close and personal with you, and you know, if they're going to use their dash to try and hit you as well, you can Vortex Rattle out of there. And once you do that, you also get the damage boost. But this game is already going to end. It will go in favor of Team Octo. They take this 100% to 59.
What an incredible first game already, and we're going to be seeing the stats come up. 100 to 59, that's a convincing victory.
It certainly is, and I think one of the most important things to this was probably their team comp. They made sure they were heavy in the defense. It wasn't going to be as effective if they had to break in, but fortunately they didn't have that issue. They were already in the zone, they had full control. You know, the kind of the combo they ended up running with Ronin and Tower ended up being super effective. Going down, of course, Octo taking that first lead in our series. But can the Corp come back? Maybe an adjustment in tactics is the way to go.
Yeah, quite the adjustment of tactics we'll have to do. And Octo, very convincing first round win, I guess. And in this best of 3, can they go all the way? We're waiting for them to pick their agents so far. Most likely gonna see the return of the Tower. Most likely gonna see the return of the Blaze. What switches do you recommend?
Honestly, it kind of depends what zone we are in. Now we're switching over to Port. For me, I think they need to be more effective in the Corp actually getting into that zone. Maybe someone like Duke, if you can hold it down, you can actually run in, stun several players. That may allow them to get into there as well. I think they've got to really concentrate on getting control first before maybe switching to more defensive once they actually have that control.
Look like we're having a Con and a Tower on both sides, so lots of defense. You got the Dome from Con, and you got the Pulse Shield from Tower. It's going to be very hard to break that. You're going to want to maybe pick some flankers. You got Minu here on Mojo. He's going to use that speed. Coming behind a player here, Pedius, one shot. Can he finish him off? And he does. First point capture in favor of Octo.
It certainly is, and this again, like I said, very different zone for this one. You're going to certainly see your Monarch come out and going to be sniping all the way through. We are seeing a cannon, and that's simply because there's a lot less cover in this one. It's a lot more open, and you get to see both towers actually shield bashing each other at that point.
Yeah, and Blaze is doing some work. That's going to be Shane, 22% and counting. Let's see what the other side is playing here. You got a Monarch coming out of PD, but he is going to die from Khan. He's going to have to do better than that. Looks like he might be switching agents to a Cult, which will be able to maybe counter the Blaze on the other side.
Yeah, I think the problem PD was actually having there was because they've got a Khan and a Tower actually into this game, the shields from both of those are kind of neglecting his sniper. So he doesn't really have an awful lot of opportunity. And even if their shields aren't up, he can't one-shot them. So he's actually having to take multiple shots on those same players. It's very ineffective. Switching over to Colt is going to allow him to punch through those shields. It's going to allow him to put down his Venom gadgets. And it's certainly going to be a lot more effective here. However, the lead right now is in the favor of the Corp.
Yeah, Khan's trying to put some damage down. He is pretty weak, though. He's got a tower in front of him. Pizza's also trying to stay alive. You got grenades coming on the hill. And finally, Ollie's going to get that kill. And Dan's going down. And it's a very, very close game.
It certainly is. Right now on board with Minu, desperately trying to stay alive. That is going to be Moho. And he's not quite able to do it. Shane ends up taking him down with Blaze. And that should be a control back in favor of Octo. They will now have it. They are stacking up with their players. The only person they are missing is going to be, in fact, they're all up. They're running Blaze and Colt here, so that's a lot of AoE damage that will punch through shields.
and everyone's got a lot of core charges available to them, so it's how you're going to coordinate these abilities to break the point. And it's only a 20% difference here. Even seeing B-Nates go back on the Monarch to see if he can maybe provide some more long range, but like we said before, with the tower and the dome from Khan, it's making it quite hard for him to get picks. But look, Quicker with the 2-piece, B-Nates with the 3rd. That is 3 down, and that should be a point retake before B-Nates goes down.
What we're seeing from both sides here as well, because there's a heavy shield usage coming from both teams with their defending agents, you're actually seeing Blaze and Colt be very, very effective. However, Peter's actually ended up changing again. He's gone back to Ronan.
And that's what's great about having 3 agents. You can switch your abilities, and you have those core charges to switch up your abilities to break these points and for every situation that you do have. We've seen Monarchs come out. Now we have a Swift on the side of B-Nates to be able to hit that flank and also confuse the enemy team and screw up their position to hopefully take back the point. But you got to deal with that tower before you can come in here, and it looks like that tower does go down.
It certainly is. What we're actually seeing as well is kind of this circle going around, right? If there's a lot of shields on the map, players are bringing out Cold and Blaze. If those shields go down, we're seeing Monarchs come out to try and snipe these players and take them down very, very quickly. Because Monarch can actually kill Blaze and Colt in one shot. So you're able to take them down as well. But right now, a lot of shields into this one as well, as this very, very close game here at the same time. We can see this is the extended battle now coming in. 99% for the Corp, and I think they're trying to clean them out. They should be in a good position, and I think that might be game over. It is. They take them down. Octo not able to get back into that zone to lock it.
Yeah, PD was the last one left, needed to stay alive, and that's why you gotta get that Midu out to sprint back into the point and try and contest it, but 100% to 68. Looks like we're going to game 3.
It certainly does there as well. MVP, that's Quicker coming in, playing Blaze, doing an awful lot of work. Like I said, it may have been more open, but the fact that there were so many shields, you know, coming in from Khan and Tower on that one, you know, putting down the dome, putting up his pulse shield, it meant that you couldn't really rely on some longer range of the agents. You had to kind of go, well, we're actually going to need these people who can punch through shields.
Yeah, and I mean, Khan can also hold his own with the damage inside his dome and can provide cover for his own sniper on his own team. So you're really providing shield for not only the players that want to stay on the point, but also the ones that want to stay back behind the shield.
Yeah, I think we saw Monarch on 4 different players there at one point, and it becomes effective for a little bit, and then it becomes really ineffective when those shields are up. So they all tried it, and they all kind of went, no, we're going to have to come off of this now. We need more pressure into the zone.
Looks like that top score is going to go to Quicker on the side of Corp. I believe he was using Blaze, but I think we saw him use a variety of characters and pumping out a lot of damage, and that's how you're going to get the top score.
Yeah, you actually see, getting 16 kills, 7 deaths, but pretty impressive all around from the guys that are on the Corp. Tying this one up, let's go into match number 3. All right, it's time to get into Sandstorm to find out how this first series is going to end up. I think realistically, the trouble that Octo had last time was a little bit unfocused in their strategy. You saw a lot of their players rapidly switching agents, and they never seemed to actually be able to kind of get it together in a kind of concerted way. However, we are now seeing both teams get into it here as well. I'm going to jump back on board with Petey because I think watching Ronan is always fantastic. He's probably going to try and dash through. He's ended up popping his effective armor as well, trying to slash the players coming through now, desperately tracing Tower, trying to get him, but no, he's been set on fire, and down he goes. Quick is going to take him out with Blaze.
Yeah, B-Nate's still trying to find a pick. He is able to pick up Shane, and that's 2 down for the other team. We're going to see some switches here. Blaze coming out of Quicker. So Blaze versus Blaze. You got Tower versus, oh, maybe seeing a Juke come out instead of the Tower, and a Minu to try and go for some flanks. So some very interesting compositions from both these sides.
It's certainly the thing. B-Nates right now is running it with that sniper, and because he's up high, that actually kind of puts down a little bit of the shield coming out from Tower as well. And he should be able to take down a few of these players, but he is going to get shut down as well. Ollie with Ghost ends up coming through and taking him down, using that camo to kind of push around the side. Now the close range shotgun as well. Ends up taking down Dan, and this is opening it back up for them. Ends up going invisible, takes down a 3rd player at the same time. Massive work coming out from Ollie, as it should be Octo to take control.
Oh my God, Ollie's going absolutely off, and he's going to go for another assassination. Who can he find here? Who's his victim? Not able to finish him off. Oh no, he is on fire, and he's going to fall there to B-Nates, but that was a great attempt at the assassination.
It certainly was, and that's maybe one of the drawbacks of Ghost is he is very powerful, able to sneak around, uses Neural Cloak to get through. But Blaze, if you light him up, you know, he doesn't have a lot of health to kind of survive that burn.
And it's barely a 20% difference between both these teams. Both teams are grouping up. Ghost not able to finish that player off. B-Nates is going to be the second time taking him down, and now they're going to be down a player. Ronan is still trying to deal with this player right in front of him. He's half health. He tried to run away. You can't run from Ronan. He's got the dash, so low health, and that should be it. Finish that player off.
You can't get him.
Come out, the fire's going to get him.
Shane cleaning up there again, getting the kills as well. But now, again, Octo now holding this, bringing this right back. They were so far behind earlier on, and now they have control. Shane ended up going to throw out his mutant grenade. That should do a lot of damage if they're coming through that choke point as well. It's at least going to end up slowing them down here. But in come the Corp. They are now stacking to this, get into this one as well. They've got Ghost coming in. He goes down. They've got themselves a Can as well. Can's put his shield up, and look at him just trying to stay alive.
Oh, but Minu can just activate that speed and just run around the center point before she gets taken down. But I like that pick of speed so you can just run around, chase players down, especially with the tower, and get right behind them and pump some damage into them.
That's exactly what's going down. They're looking to try and lock this one down again, and it looks like the Corp are trying to get back into this. They know there are players in here. They're going for the capture, and it will swing back. No, just been contested in the last second, but it does eventually swing back into their favor. They now have this lockdown. They'll be trying maybe to get a few defenders into this one now to make sure they don't lose it again.
Oh, Tower's trying to contest it. He actually got a bash there on B-Nates, and now his teammates are here to pick up the kills, and this is a perfect contest. And then bashing another player, but no, the grenades from Quick are going to take him down. That was perfect.
Well, right now we can see it's coming right down to the wire. Both sides getting very hyped up and amped here for this one. We see fights going on all over the hill. You see now PD's going to end up taking a player down. Shenag's ended up getting as well, using Blaze to lock it now. And it's going to be quicker with his. He's trying to head out Ronan. Ronan's got his deflect on. It's not going to work that much. It's an extended battle. Right now it's so close between these two teams. And you can tell Octo, they are so close, but that has switched in favor of the Corp. The extended battle has allowed them to push this. And now they are gaining the time.
Oh, Khan just barely got out of there, didn't have enough for his dome to give him some shield. We are at 99% and players are dropping like flies. We're gonna go into that extended battle of 99 to 98. Who is gonna walk away with this?
Well, right now it's gonna be Shane. Shane is burning his way through this hill, desperately trying to get these players out of contest. He sees one more player come in, it's gonna be Minu, and Minu is using the speed, running around the hill. They can't manage to catch him at the moment. Still going, still running. Shane eventually sets it on fire, and that should be all she wrote, as it is going to be a win for Octo. They take this one 100 to 98%, and the series 2-1.
That was a hairline win at the end, coming down to the blazes on the point. We had towers, we had bashes from everybody going on. I just can't believe the amount of abilities we saw in the last 10 seconds of that game.
Well, Shane was the MVP of that game, and he certainly deserved it. Ended up going absolutely huge, 15-6. A lot of those kills were kind of finishes from him, though. He ended up getting a lot of kills where we saw maybe finishing up what Ronan couldn't quite get hold of, or maybe we saw when Ghost was running around there as well. But yeah, I think he just had a kind of a crazy game.
Yeah, and he was able to put so many of those grenades into the point and try and disorient it and change the position of the other team, and getting so many points from that, on top of finishing off the kills and sort of keeping at bay players like Minu and those short-range characters that they can't get close to Blaze. So he's been a really popular character popping up.
Yeah, we certainly have. And we also saw some big plays coming in from Ghost as well. Both squads using it very effectively, making sure that neural quote got round, and you can kind of get that lethal melee coming in as well. And once you pop that, you've then got a very powerful close-range shotgun. So you can get into the zone, you can start making kills or make players weak, and then you can start using that close-range shotgun to get a few kills as well. We saw both Ollie and Dan end up doing very well with it. There we go, our first series is done. Octo take down the Corp 2-1. I think it's time to catch up with the players.
Oh my lord, unbelievable scenes in round one. Such a close finish there. Quicker, man. You were on fire with Blaze early on, but then in that last game, you guys just kind of let it slip a little bit. Take us through those final moments.
I think looking around, we expected to win that game. We were up by quite a bit, and we just stopped making kills. Shane caught fire, and we ended up losing, so it's sad times.
Unfortunate stuff there, but Shane, MVP performance there. It went 99 there at the close. How did you guys finish it off?
Well, he said I caught fire, but I think I just set his whole team on fire for the whole 5 minutes, to be honest. It started off pretty badly for me yesterday when I was practicing. I thought I am by far the worst player in this venue. So I thought I'm changing it up. I'd rather just use Blaze, use a mutation grenade as well, and it suited me really well. The fact they had Mojo as well, that made things a hell of a lot easier for us, I'm not going to lie. But it was the first series proper exciting. They battered us first map. Second, we did them, and then the third, it was close as you like. I think 99 to 100, and I think best way to end it, especially when we won as well.
Fighting words. Let's see if Team Corp can bring it back in round 2. We'll take it back to Brycey and Jen.
All right, let's get into series number 2. Right now, we do have the Octo squad are up 1-0 in the series score, winning their first one 2-1 in a nail-biting finish. But can they do it again?
Do you have 2-star players on each team? Do you think that'll absolutely go off?
I think right now it's kind of Shane and Quicker, and a lot of that is to do with the fact they're really utilizing Blaze very well. So I think as long as they can continue to do that and allow them to pick up a lot of the kills here, because Blaze is not just good for getting the kills, he's good for picking up low health people. If you get licked with any of that flame, it applies a burn and you get set on fire, and that allows you to kind of just pick off really weak people without having to constantly kind of keep a gun on them.
Yeah, and another player that I haven't seen a lot is Colt. We didn't see it too much in the first series, but now we're going to see it on Mojo. You'll have to keep an eye on him, see how many players he can slow around the zone control point. All the teams are making their way, and you already have a Ronin on the side of B8 slashing and slicing and dicing, but he's going to go down early to Shane.
It certainly isn't against what I said. You know, Shane's going to continue to use Blaze very, very effectively. Ronin, if he can't get right up close to you, it's not going to be effective. Now, of course, we have switched on to Apex. It's on the Corp headquarters rooftop. So it's a very high-tech building, but this one is quite a close zone, so it's going to be really kind of down to it. Ronin should be more effective than he is doing, but against someone like Colt, it's really just not going to work.
Yeah, it's the last person you want to dive with Ronin when he can slow you. You are just a meat shield. And now we got Juke on the side of PD. I'm looking forward to see when he's going to touch down. And just there he goes right there. He's not able to pick anybody up. One player on the hill, and that should be an easy kill. But no, Dan's actually going to assassinate him from behind.
Well, you can see the tactics coming in from both squads now as well. We are seeing a Colt, we are seeing a Blaze. We know how effective they really are on both sides. The only difference is we're now seeing Peter's actually switching over to Juke. Now, this is actually one of my favorite agents. Simple reason being his special ability, the touchdown. He's going to be able to stun people. He heals, depending on the amount of people he hits as well, and stuns them. It allows them to entry in. He's a big, tanky guy. It's a great character for this zone.
Yeah, and he's really doing well with these touchdowns, stunning multiple players like you saw in that last screen. Now we are just neck and neck, 31% and growing to 28. It's going to come down to the line. You can see Swift with the shotgun, able to get a kill, and he's trying to get as many kills as he can. There's another player in front of him. That's going to be a Blaze. His teammate's going to help him out, but now he's poisoned. He needs to just run around this tower, and hopefully his teammate can pick up that kill.
Well, right now, the Corp are doing a very good job of at least trading out, going into this one as well. Octo are using this great strategy of using both Colt and Blaze. So you get into that zone, you're going to have poison and fire coming at you here as well. One's going to burn you, continue to damage over time. The other is going to slow you down massively. It's very little you can do. However, the Corp are wise to it, and they've actually managed to bring in a few kind of agents that are dealing with it as well. They've got Swift coming in, they've got Ghost so they can assassinate, and they've got Minu, so they're playing very, very fast, keeping out of range and diving around those two players on Octo.
Yeah, and we saw Locke coming out of Ollie. He was having some really great positioning on the high ground. Unfortunately, he does go down there. Now you see Tower on the side of Pizza trying to stay alive. Grenades on the hill. He's got his teammate Ronin, but not going to be enough. Dan's going to take him down, and that's a really important player to die, and you're going to lose that defense.
It is as well. They're getting ready. They're actually stacking up here as well. You can see Corp have taken the advantage, but right now Octo, they've stacked all their players up. They're going in at the same time. You see Ronin desperately trying to hit that front line. He's pushing it as well. Got Blaze going behind him, but it's actually going to be a drop there coming in. Ollie drops his Venom gadget, and he gets so many players end up going down. That's 3 kills for him as he managed to get it off, but it cost the lives of his teammates, and they do grab control simply because they had Tower left standing.
And that was a perfect use of the Venom gadget to not only get those kills, but slow down the push coming into the point. Now take a look at Shane. He's setting everybody on fire, and now that's the last one. It won't work on his teammate, and he's actually going to go down. So this is very interesting. You can see Shane and PD are getting some kills. Now they just need to stay alive for an extended battle, 99-61.
Yeah, the Corp managed to actually end up taking out everybody there in that extended battle. PD was the last one standing. Unfortunately, Ronin not that powerful by himself against multiple opponents. He ends up going down. We can see Swift there ends up hitting the zone replay, and he ends up rewinding time, staying alive. That automatic shotgun coming into play once again. And right now, the Corp are doing a lot better job at holding, but they need some more defensive players. You can see Ghost here. From Dan, he's trying to take down players, ends up slapping one in the face. He's got Ronin on him, he's trying to pop the camo, not quite able to get out of there as well. And now they're fighting tooth and nail, but it looks like Octo are about to take control of this one again.
Oh no, Swift needs to stay alive, and no, Shade with the two-piece. Absolutely, you can feel the energy in the room, 99 to 97, and there it is. They're gonna take map number 1.
Those little red panties up.
And there you go, you can see it end up coming down to a big blaze play coming out of Shane. Again, very, very effective. He seems to have found an agent, he's sticking with it, he knows how to use it effectively, and to be honest with you, that zone was perfect for Blaze as well. A little bit of cover in the mid pillar, some places to hide. You know they're coming through the choke points. He also had his grenades, and yeah, I think he got MVP again. Shade dropped 20 kills in that one.
Yeah, and you also see Ollie has a pretty good score as well. And I guess that would be the MVP on Team Octo, and he went 17-7, so also an impressive score.
Yeah, it is as well. Like, there's a lot of kills coming in. You can kind of see all the scoreboards for us here. And I think maybe only Pizza didn't really get a lot of kills because he was playing tower. He was playing kind of their front line. Surprisingly enough, PD, who is actually taking 2 defenders, he actually ends up running with Duke and Ronin. He ends up still getting 13 kills as he goes forward. And all of that was him just rushing forward to Ronin, using his dash, using his sword, and just trying to soak up as much damage as possible while his teammates come in behind him.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Khan yet in this one, and you know, Tower really only came at the later parts of the game when they're actually trying to hold it. It seemed all these offensive characters were coming in, all these assassins trying to get these kills, but now you need to also hold it. Having a Tower or Khan player is key.
I think so. I think the only problem with having Khan, maybe in that zone specifically, is everybody's going to be inside that shield anyway. Like, people are diving through the doors. It all becomes right around the central pillar. It may have been one of the ones where, you know, I can see why they took Tower, simply because he's got that powerful shotgun coming through as well. I think it's something they need to maybe kind of look at here and kind of diversify. Duke, again, I saw a little bit of a play with him. I thought he might have been more effective for some of the teams breaking into this one, maybe using him once or twice, but you know what? It come down to the wire, so both teams had great strategies.
And I mean, Ollie also had a great score because he was playing a lot of lock and going on that high ground, using his augmented reality to just not only increase his damage, but also try and move the position from the team, being on that high ground, also pumping damage without the other team even seeing him.
All right, let's get into this next map. It's going to be Blackrock. Right now, Octo not only leading in the series 1-0, but leading in the second series by taking the first map as well. Can Team Corp come back? Is this the start of them managing to start putting a dent in the Octo train?
Dent in the Octo train, I like that. They're gonna have to switch things up with their agents. Let's see if we're gonna see anything different. But looks like in the last one, Shane's gonna go probably with his favorite, with Blaze. I think he dropped the 20 bomb. Let's see if he can do it again.
All right, well, this is the 5th map we are seeing here so far in this series, and there are all 5 maps that you'll be able to play right away when this game is live. But let's see how they adapt to this snow-covered map now as we start on board with Quicker Than You as Blaze.
Yeah, and they're just going to be leading the charge right into the zone. And this one's going to be underground, and it's actually a pretty large point. And let's see if he can still do some damage. And just like that, he takes down PD. And now that's going to be initial control in their favor as they pretty much team wipe the other team.
Well, a little bit of a change actually coming in from PD there. That was the first time we've seen him change into Khan. And he did have that, but it hasn't gone well for him. So maybe the change here coming in from Corp is working. Or have Octo tried to change their tactics and it hasn't worked? That's something we're going to be looking at for as we go forward. A little bit of change. Shane's still actually running Blaze. PD is going to be running Khan here as well. But the biggest thing you need to know about Khan is he's great at staying alive. Can pop that shield, can get out. Not quite able to do that. Still can't run a 2v1. We're also seeing Ollie brings Monarch back out. That's going to be an interesting pick simply because this zone right now is underground. But it looks like he's going to take an actual far away position.
Yeah, and he's going to be saving himself from anything and actually able to get some kills before they even get into the point. He almost, I think that was maybe Shane, but he's trying to put some damage here, but he's got to deal with that tower, and he's not going to be able to do much. We'll have to see if a switch is going to come in. And on the other side, they have Minu as their main damage dealer, and she's going to be able to swiftly move around the map, around these pillars, and come behind these other players, and mainly around the tower.
I like the idea of running Monarch to try and cut down those reinforcements, but it just doesn't seem to be working. Bearing in mind you've got tanks coming in as well, like you're not going to get that many kills to make up for it on this map, unfortunately, because you cannot actually influence the players in the zone as much. But looking over, we're now seeing Tower come in from B-Nates. He's going to get gets that shield back as well, takes down Shane, says no thank you for that, and he's still got that tower over. You can see, we're actually seeing so many tanks that are entering the hill for the guys here on Octo, trying to stay alive.
Ooh, shield versus
oh my
shield.
Goodness.
What is going on? Now you got the dome from Khan. Damage trying to go in. Huge kill from Mojo, and that's going to be a cap for Team Corp.
It was. What we missed there was PD was playing Duke, and he actually got a massive touchdown on 3 of the players there. Problem being is Khan's shield was up, so nothing happened for him as well, so they weren't actually able to get into there at the same time. But they're now trying to push once again. The Corp have the advantage. In goes PD, has his touchdown up again. Is he going to try and use it? He is. He's going to try, and he tried to stun before he ended up going down as well. But it's all Corp right now.
This is a commanding lead. We're about to hit 100% to 22. Now extended battle. This is going to come down to the line. Octo need to get into this point. Monarch's now got the pistol swap. Let's see if he can pick up any kills. Needs some help from his teammates. He's putting in damage into that player. Can he finish him off? The player is going to escape, and now they're able to retake the point, but can they come out with the win?
Well, right now, Monarch, you just saw, actually has that pistol swap ability. So while you have that powerful sniper rifle that will do 2 times the amount of damage, headshots, if you get into trouble, sniper's not really what you want. You can switch. His ability is a pistol swap. Bring out that pistol. It does pretty good damage close as well. And you know what? They're holding it now at the same time. However, several of his teammates end up going down, and he's got to be in trouble, but they are still holding. Octo may be able to make a massive comeback here.
Yeah, and that was a really nice 2-piece from B-Nates before he got traded out to try to even up these numbers. And now it's 99 to 65 and growing. Are we going to go into extended battle with 99? There's going to be some changes that need to be done. Shane with the blaze is absolutely on fire. Literally, he's lighting everybody up on the point. Minu's now trying to dash in. The Juke is going to do the touchdown, stunning a few players. And Minu's going to go down because of that stun. That was a great ability use.
It certainly was, and that's what Duke's really good for. You know, if you start getting overswamped, if you start getting outnumbered, there's not a lot of special abilities that allow you to deal with that. Duke's does. It allows him not only to regain health, depending on how many people he hits, but he will stun the enemy team, allowing him to use that high damage assault rifle to take people down. And you can see here, he's still alive, still being able to do it. He's got another stun going in, ends up getting someone with Duke, and then gets another kill. It's like lining them up for his team. And Octo make a ridiculous comeback, 100 to 99%. They will end up taking out the second series as well. And you've got to say, once they got in, they couldn't be moved.
The energy in this room, you can hear everybody yelling, the chokes, the comeback, whatever you want to call it, 99 to 0. How do you let that happen? And the MVP of the match, I believe I just missed it, but PD with 1,700 points on the side of Octo, and you have on
I think it is PD.
And then B-Nates with 1,200 on the other team. So great scores out of each of them. You could tell they're all trading kills together, and they all have pretty much even score.
Well, I think one of the things you say is, you know, we saw PD maybe change it up a little bit. The last times we've seen him play, he's been using Ronan. He's been kind of trying to play a little bit of an aggressive defender. We actually saw his roster come through, and his roster now is going to be Khan, Duke, and Ronan. So he's gone for the heavy hitters, you know, the kind of the tankier players and the defenders to lock it down. Khan didn't have an awful lot of kind of success with him when he got into there to begin with. We didn't see him use Ronan, but his Duke, that was the difference maker, able to completely shut down the aggression coming in from Corp. And it worked out so well for them.
Yeah, just great use of the stuns. You can see many of those kills going into his favor. Although sometimes he does get traded out, creates that opportunity for his team to at least break into the point, which Tower versus Tower, that was also an interesting engagement. Who's going to go down in that situation? It's either whoever's ability is going to run out, whoever takes the most damage. It gets tough in those situations.
It certainly would. Well, there we go. 2-0 now to Team Octo, not only in that series, but series score overall. Let's catch up with the players.
Huge victory there for Team Octo. Peter, you were using Duke a lot there. You had some pivotal kills, some pivotal moments in that last game. Take us through that character and how you thought he brought out the best in that game.
Well, on the second map, we were so far down. Like we really needed to change it up, and I changed the Duke. Like now, after that game, he's one of my favourite characters because literally they kept going down at the choke point, and I kept getting my ability, which was touchdown, and I kept stunning like 3 or 4 at a time, and like it literally changed the whole game into our favour, and we ended up coming back from like 99% to like 10%, and it was like one of the best games I've played on this game at the moment.
It was brilliant stuff. Disorientation, breeding annihilation, brilliant stuff indeed. B-Nates, you went from quite a defensive strategy in playing tower to quite an offensive one in terms of playing Swift. Take us through your thoughts and how you guys might change it up for the next round.
Yeah, so I started tower. I thought, maybe a defensive approach might be good. But PD's strategy of using touchdown with Juke was an absolute he was annihilating everyone. So I decided to go with my go-to DPS, and that would be Swift. So her, warp zone gets me out of trouble. So if I did get stunned, I can kind of get out of trouble really quick. So I tried to do a lot of DPS there, but we didn't quite make it. But for next game, we're definitely going to have to stay away from Juke and PD, and just hope we do well.
All right, can Corp bring it back? Octo with a 2-round lead. Let's go back to our casters to get us set for round 3.
All right, let's get into series number 3 right now. Octo have been the dominant team. They've taken the first 2 series. Corp, though, can they come back as we head into slumps?
Once again, I don't know what Corp needs to do to bring this back.
Be better.
Get better, practice more. But do you think there's a particular change that Corp needs to do?
I think they need to maybe make better choices with some of their agents. We're seeing very effective use coming out of the guys on Octo, and they seem to know what works for them. I keep seeing multiple changes coming in from the guys on Corp, but they're not really 100% confident. Sometimes you got to beat fire with fire, so I would start trying to using some people like use Duke, use Blaze, try to get in there and see exactly how it works. Maybe try and just kind of match them gun for gun and then see if they can kind of adapt from there. Because right now, they almost won the last map in the last series that we saw, but can they actually win a series?
Well, off the break, we got Minu versus Minu, Blaze versus Blaze, Colt and Locke and Juke on the map, and everybody is on fire. Everybody's going to be poisoned and slowed. Bunch of kills going on the board here for Octo to start out.
It is, and this as well, where we see this zone, a little bit more open until it gets really, really close. So if you push out of the zone and try to hold them off, you're going to be in a good time. But because it's so tight, so in the middle, Colt and Blaze are going to be massive agents for both times.
Ooh, Minu's going to get shot from behind, but if you're going to push on their ground, it's such a long-range place. I'd like to see Minu go on these close quarters around the stairs or on that high ground where it's a lot closer quarters. Now Colt here on Mojo is going to be throwing some Venom Mines, able to distance these other players from even going onto the point. You don't want to get poisoned, you don't want to get slowed. It's going to be tough to break into there with the Venom gadget on the hill.
It is, and I think Minu realistically has to stay away from the point. If you're Minu, use the speed to keep moving around. We actually see right now, we saw B-Nate switch off of Minu, simply because if you're in that kind of enclosed environment, you don't have the ability to run around that much.
Yeah, some nice kills coming out of Juke, and we're hitting the 50% to nothing. What is going on with Team Octo? They've got to get some percentages on the board here, and they have the core charges to be able to use his abilities. Now they got to coordinate them together, but they keep dropping here. That's going to be B-Nate's huge 2-piece there. Shane going for the trades, but they're not getting the kills they need to actually break into the point.
They aren't. Right now it is all Corp all the time. Quicker than you end up shutting down his compadre Blaze or Shane on the other team. And they're trying to get forward again. Here we go now. Push coming in. Towers trying to push through the hill. Not able to do anything there. We got stuns coming in from Juke. Poison coming in now as well. They're trying desperately to hold on, but it looks like it might be Octo to start taking the lead. And they will end up capturing that point as well. Big break coming in from them, but can they make the kills to hold on?
Yeah, and at least we're finally seeing the small comeback coming in, but now they're going to have to regroup. A couple players down here on the side of Corp, and I mean, they have a lot of time to work here. A lot of time to work as they got the Juke, they got Colt and Blaze, they got a lot of specialists and a lot of damage to put in, but they got to deal with Tower on the side of Octo, who's able to shield bash just like that. So he's going to have a hard time. He's going to get poisoned, he's going to get slowed, and that's the only way to counter him, it seems like.
Right now, Duke's doing a lot of work, gets a stun in, but goes down before he can do it. And I'm not going to lie, that was a great break from Corp. They actually ended up going into the zone through 3 different directions. pulling Octo all over the place, not allowing them to bottleneck them in any one of these ones as well. And it means they're almost about to take control again here as well. As Shane goes down, it should go back over into Corp control.
Yeah, kills all going in their favor. Mojo going absolutely huge with the 2. Can he find more? And then tower goes down as well. That's 3 for Mojo.
Well, there you go. Eventually goes back into Corp control here. I think it was the tower player Pizza from Octo that was holding on for that length of time. And now they're going to try and stack it once again. Shane Blaze goes in, but he ends up going down. They've got to be careful. Quick is now going in, and Petey's got in as well. He's got the kill. He's trying to get another one, using that high damage assault rifle on Duke to do something, but not able to get it. He has to back out as well. And that is going to be 100% to the guys on the Corp, and they will take map number 1 in Series 3.
See, this is the comeback that we needed to see. We didn't want to see Octo win all the games. Corp making the switches they need with the agents. MVP going to Mojo. You could see it with the kills. He was racking those up, 3 pieces and multiple times using Colt.
Yeah, and to me, you know, you got Mojo getting that MVP. Kind of says exactly what was going on this game as well. We said with this zone, it's going to be close quarters. Blaze and Colt are going to be your most important agents as you go through. Blaze is great at just shutting down people with shields, pushing into the hill, but Colt, honestly, with his Venom gadgets, you put a few of those down, you control massive swathes of the zone as well, you control the choke points, of which on that one are absolute bottlenecks, and it just means that, you know, as soon as people are coming in, you're going to be slowed or you're going to be on fire, or you're going to be poisoned. Not really the ideal way you want to enter anywhere, and it just meant that once they had control, it was very difficult for them to lose it.
Yeah, it was very great use of the Venom gadgets and all the abilities to not only put damage into the other team, but to keep them from actually entering the point, and when they do, they get slowed, like you said. It's a great character or a great agent to use on that particular point.
It certainly is, and that's the benefit of having 12 agents. You tailor the gameplay to the zone and the way you want to play. All right, well, that's the end of map 1 on Series 3. Let's go into map 2. Well, as we move into port, let's find out and see whether or not Octo are going to adjust to try to take this series back.
Well, they have been making the adjustments that they do need. We saw Colt really going off on their side and the switches that they've been doing on point. Now, we're going to be going into port, the map, and I believe the point was called Street. Either way, we'll see what kind of compositions we have. We already have a Monarch coming on the side from Ollie and 2 Blazes, Dan and B-Nates. That's 3 Blazes and a Colt.
Well, they're about to find out very, very shortly. However, Monarch is going to be so effective here in this first engagement. Got that long sight line going down as well. That's Ollie. You're going to see at the same time. You can see they actually ended up going around the flank. Picks up that first kill on B-Nates. See him going through, and he's going to get that lock as well. And it looks like it's all going to go in favor of Octo while that port starts coming out.
Yeah, Corp dropped 2 players really early, and now also Quicker is low, so this is not the best situation because now Octo can just do long range and take out these sort of short range characters. So this is not working out. Shane getting a nice 2-piece, so that should be a point cap for his team.
Well, you can actually see, you know, you got the Team Corp ended up opening with 3 Blazes to try and maybe shock the guys on Team Octo. But Shane goes, oh, hold on a minute here. I'm the best Blaze in this lobby. Watch this.
Still keeping the 2 Blazes, now switching to a Ghost, and that was a nice kill from him earlier, trying to come behind these players with the shotgun. Now he's on fire, and Shane is just obliterating everybody on the other team before he goes down. And now we got a Ghost on the side of Ollie here, who's gonna stab this poor player in the back, and it's still no point capture for any team.
It isn't. I think Ghost is going to be effective here as well. With it being a little bit more open, it gives Ghost the opportunity to move out of there, pop the camo, elites contest, or get behind enemy players at the same time as well. Right now, still all in charge of Octo. Shane has been set on fire as Blaze again here, and he's taking a lot of damage. The only disadvantage to running someone like Blaze or Colt on this one is he's got long sight lines. If you don't do it correctly, you are going to get shut down. And we can see right now, I think it's going to be B-Nates with Monarch sniping down, ends up taking out PD as well. 2 shots on to Duke, which is what you need to do to take him down. He's got a little bit more health than others. And again, he's still doing so much work here. And it's going to be difficult, actually, if they don't pay attention and shut down Monarch very, very quickly. Fortunately, both teams now using him.
And what was so dangerous about neither of these teams capping the point in the first minute or so is all those neutral points went into favor of Team Octo. That's why they started out with around 20 to 25%. So those are free points, and now they're hitting that 60-point mark. And you see Monarch on the side of B-Nates is able to provide so much coverage for his assassins on the point. And B-Nates is going absolutely off, getting all the snipes. Can he get another one? He's just obliterating the other team.
I think the teams have made a little bit of a critical error here right now. We don't see a Khan anywhere. And Khan, if you had him, would be able to pop a shield onto this zone and completely eliminate pretty much all of the effectiveness that Monarch has, simply because he would make those sightlines smaller, because you cannot shoot through that shield. Right now, neither team running him. We're seeing a few towers which can do the same, but it's not kind of as big an ability.
There's a 40% difference right now between these two teams. All three players of Team Corp are now down. They're going to have to regroup and get back into this one. But now Pete's is challenging B-Nates on the Monarch. It's going to be sniper versus sniper, but you're exactly right. They need some kind of defense, a tower, a con, or something to protect these snipers, protect these players on the point who are trying to get the points.
Well, you see, he's going to try and go for the no-scope there, right close. Trying to get the lock, not quite able to. Oh, he ends up getting it. B-Nates gets that one as well, hits the pistol swap, goes back into it. Octo are getting it, and they're also doing a very good job. You can shoot the weapon gadgets that Colt drops.
2 Blazes and a Colt is going to be the composition on the side of Corp. And let's see if it'll work out for them. I mean, not really at the beginning, and you can see they're trying to set everybody on fire, but not as much health when you're playing these type of characters. Now, Colt is trying to provide some coverage there for B-Nates. He's going to go down, and he also got Quicker trying to rush into the point and provide some coverage, but Dan is going to be the one to try and use that distraction to come up behind them, trying to get assassination, trying to get some stabs in and get kills on the board.
Well, you can see right now, Corp are desperately trying to get in there. They've ended up using Duke, trying to get through. They're going to get some kills going down. It's an extended battle for both squads in here as well. We've seen Monarch disappear from both sides, which I'm surprised at. A Ronin's come out for Ollie. He's trying to slash. He's going to get Blaze as well, looking for the second Blaze at the same time. Don't turn around, and they are going to get him. Ollie gets 2 there as well, completely wiping out the players on the Corp side. They have 1 player left going into it as well, trying to desperately stay alive. More Blazes coming in. They desperately try to get this close range and personal. But no, it's over, it's done. Octo will take map number 2. And you got to say, sometimes Blaze can be very, very powerful. Other times, he's ineffective.
Did you not push up there?
Yeah, the 3 Blaze and a Colt. Very interesting strategy coming on the side of Corp, but not the Corp series that you wanted, Bryce. Looks like it's going to be a tie series of 1-1 heading into map number 3.
It most certainly is. And again, I have to kind of point out here, you know, no Khan for both sides. I think that was probably possibly a mistake. If one team had taken it, they would have certainly had a massive advantage on that zone. I don't know why Monarch disappeared towards the end of the game. You got to remember, if you're running, 3 Blazes or a Colt and some Blazes, Monarch, you're basically asking for Monarch to start taking heads. And that's what was happening in parts of the game. They didn't have enough tanks, they didn't have enough shields, and Monarch was completely ripping teams apart. If the biggest criticism I can level against Corp is 3 Blazes isn't going to work on that zone.
Yeah, and the biggest score, I believe, going to actually B-Nates and Ollie. So Ollie was on the Monarch earlier, and B-Nates, I believe, used mostly the Blaze and, you know, different character switches throughout the game.
I think he ran Monarch as well.
There's Monarchs everywhere at some points, but that was a really great game. We'll have to see how map number 3 goes.
We most certainly will. Well, it's time to find out. Will Octo take their 3rd series in a row, or will Corp finally take one?
This is map 3 of this best of 3. Can they get the series win? I'm excited to see the comeback. You know, it's 5-2, but, you know.
Hey, they win this, they still win the series, right? This is each series is a best of 3, so they've only got to win one more. They win this series, and who knows from there. But let's find out as we jump into BlackRock and find out who comes out on top. So having a little bit of look, standard kind of opening from both squads to begin here. We see a Khan come in. We do see a lock this time as well as we head towards the zone.
Yeah, but they got a tower and a juke on the side of Octo, so 2 more defensive characters versus only a Khan here. And on this particular map, it's so large, and also a big pillar in the middle would be great for a versatile player to sort of run around, ring around a rosy type of map. So kills looking like it's in favor of Corp so far, but the point is still contested.
It certainly is. This is another Blaze kind of coming in here. Shane picking up those kills, picked up 1, tries to get the second. It does end up setting Khan on fire, and Khan is going to go down as well. So he gets the 2 kills coming in there from Shane. Blaze picking it up with that continued burn afterwards as well. I think we're seeing an awful lot of Blaze players coming in here as well. It's going to be very hectic around this. The narrow strip that runs around the middle of this zone means that players will be kind of disconnected, but still very close together.
Yeah, and maybe it's because Corp has a little bit more damage having sort of these 3 DPS or these 3 offensive characters versus on the other side they have a juke and a tower, a little bit more slower characters, and it's looking a little bit difficult here. 22% to nothing, and the kills are in favor of Corp so far.
They certainly are. We can see here, I like what Ollie is doing. He's not engaging in the middle here because he doesn't have to. He knows he has a high damage assault rifle, so he's staying out there. Problem is, he's going to have to use his stun now. Ends up stunning Colt. Not a lot of health left, and it's not going to be enough. Colt's poison weapon is actually going to make it so he can't actually move that fast. It slows you down.
Shane is just setting everybody on fire before he goes down as well. So it's a great use of the Colt by B-Nates here. So they have the Colt and the Blaze, and on the side, they only have the Blaze. And now we actually see PD on the Ronin slicing and dicing. He's got so many players in front of him, and now he has a dome on top of him, trying to find a kill. Just so much damage. This player's trying to run from him, but he cannot hide.
Yes, and he's also been chased down by a Duke, and he's constantly doing it. Pity is just slashing at the back of Tower. Tower having the most health in the game means this is two Juggernauts going up against each other, using the dash, eventually ends up shutting him down. But this is a great map for Ronin, possibly the best one we've seen so far in this zone, simply because of the way the zone works. You gotta remember, there's a lot of area to run around, so Ronin can continuously run around the circle and just slash the people in front of him, rather than worrying about being, taken from behind constantly.
And this is a nice sort of change by Ollie to match that lock with the side of Mojo, sort of the long range abilities. And now Mojo's trying to save his teammate. He can't even find where that guy went. And now Shane is barbecuing him from behind. It's just poison, fire, Ronin's on the map in 67-47 now.
Oh, right now we can see Petty's going back in with Ronin. It's just running around here. It's contested. It's still in favor of Octo, though. And you can see they're kind of picking up defensive positions. They don't want to give too much away as they go in, but Corp end up just going straight in and taking it here. They all ended up pushing out, dying, and then Corp went, all right, thank you very much. We will have this zone now, and completely have taken it away.
His lead is growing. It's getting pretty close. Khan's using his dome, trying to provide some coverage for his teammates, but there's so much venom on the point. Colt is almost going to die as a player right in front of him. But Quicker, B-Nates, nice kills by Quicker, getting the 2 before he does. Oh, I'm not traded out. He's still alive. His teammates are going to go down 94-58. We are hitting the 100% point soon.
We are, and they're not able to quite get into it here. It looks like it's going to be straight for the guys on Corp, and they will end up taking series number 3. Could never really get it started, the guys on Octo. They had a few opportunities, but just weren't able to break in. I like the fact that they had the Ronin, but Ronin wasn't staying in the point. I don't know, for me, I think that was a kind of a throwaway from the guys on Octo, but great there, coming in quicker than you, very, very effective with Blaze. Actually ended up shutting down Shane a lot of the time.
Yeah, this was a Blaze versus Blaze. You got Venom gadgets all over the point, but I really like those Ronin plays. I mean, if not as getting the kills, just being a pure bait for his teammates to get the kills around him. And then you got the lock versus lock battles, which we didn't get to see in the previous other maps.
No, we certainly didn't. However, it does mean advantage on this one. It goes to the team from Corp. They now trail 1-3 in the series score, but still lots more to play for as we head into our next series and we catch up with the players once again.
Oh man, some emotional scenes there. Team Corp getting their first round win of the day. Mojo, you were using Colt a lot there, a lot of really awesome DPS strategy going on. Can you take us through that, and do you guys think you're going to be able to clinch another one to level the series?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, Colt is so much fun to play. He's just like really, really annoying, and I love that. The first time I played the game, somebody else was using Colt. I was like, oh man, I did not enjoy this game until I started playing Colt as well. So I was like, oh, okay, man, this is sick. So yeah, I had a lot of fun playing him, and I had like one free piece as well. I came behind him, saw 3 people in front of me, like threw like a gadget, killed everybody, cleaned up the site, and took the point. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was a great win. Great win. Pizza Man, you've been rocking Tower for most of today. Yeah. And I saw a little interesting strategy there. You were kind of camped in the zone, desperately trying to keep it, hiding away in the corner. Take us through those moments.
Well, everything went wrong in that game. My strategy worked for the entire day, and for that game, it didn't. My strategy was let everyone else run in, get the kills. I camp as much as I can with the shield up and just stay there for as long as possible. And it worked for every game, but up to now at least. But we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't quite work out that time. So Corp take this one. It's 2-1. Can they come back to level the series and take this thing to a tiebreak? Let's go back to Brycey and Jen.
All right, well, the Corp have come back, but this is Series 4. A new start, a new best of 3. Can Octo shut them down once again, or is this the rise of Corp and they're going to start taking it to Octo for another series. Well, let's find out, as this time we are going to be moving into Sandstorm between these two teams. Lots of adjustments and lots of strategy talk between the two of them to figure out exactly how they want to manipulate the zone this time around.
Yeah, we had some great changes in the last series, you know, lock versus lock, some towers, some jukes, blazes every single game, cults appearing here and there, but we could be going to a sudden death series. I'm very excited to see maybe, you know, the rise of Corp, like you said. We'll see what agents these guys want to pick out. And I mean, you always want to have that defensive character as sort of a backup plan if you need that extra defense. What happens if someone pulls out the 4 towers? What do you do with that?
Well, right now, I've actually ended up seeing on Octo, there's 3 Monarchs available, but none of them are actually running them off the rip. So they have it depending on whether or not the zone has got a long sight line, but it doesn't look like it's gone that much in their favor. But we are going to see Ronan actually get that lady because he has a dash, so he can get further forward to begin with, but he's going straight in. And that's PD once again.
Yeah, and that's Blaze and Colt on each side. You got a Con versus a Tower, and the main DPS, so Ronan versus, I believe it's a Minu here, and she's going off. Nice 2 kills from B-Nates. Can he finish off this player in pizza? He's got the dome that he can just ease in and out of to try and deal or negate some of this damage.
And again, this is really being a big trouble here. Colt has come in and managed to take down the 2 tanks of the players on Octo. Trying desperately to get away, but Shane comes in with Blaze and says, you have poison, I have fire. Gets shut down and throws it out here. Will be Corp, though, in the lead. They've got Khan throwing down that shield to keep them alive, and it's allowing them to kind of put a bit more long-range firepower in the hill and shut them down at those doors.
And Minu has just like not died. Unfortunately, she got stunned, but she's around the corner, taking some damage from behind, could not turn. And that's gonna be Ollie, who actually switched to the Ghost, and he's able to get 2 kills there. His teammates are going down. Now he's gonna use his ability here. Nice assassination there on Quicker, but turn around and he died from Quicker as well.
He did. Shane's trying to stay alive with Blaze. He should end up taking down Colt there with the burn. Not going to quite happen though. Does just stay alive as they go through here. And it's all Corp once again. Managing to hold on here, not letting Octo back in. And you've got to wonder, is this the opportunity for them? Maybe they need to get a Colt of their own. That seems to be the biggest difference maker.
And I think that Con Dome, or the Con Shield that they're using, is what's allowing them to negate so much damage and stay alive on the zone here. And Minu has just been putting so much damage in, so Bine is doing absolutely big there. He just picked up a kill off someone on rotation, but finally, on the side of Octo, we're seeing some percentage build up.
We are, and what I really like here is Pizza, if we go on the board with him. He's not really doing an awful lot, it looks like, but he's outside here with Tower, with the shield up. But because he can see both sight lines fairly long, it means that Colt and Blaze can't really sneak up on him, and it allows him to get his shield in there as well. Plus he has cover. So they're actually holding the outside of this zone, making sure that anybody that comes inside has to get to them first.
This is getting down to the point. It's 50-42 and growing when it started out with 50 and nothing. Juke using the touchdown, but he's getting smashed by Pizza, not able to finish off that second player. Gets traded there by Ollie and Shane with a huge 2-piece. So that's 3 down for Corp, while Octo will be starting to try and make the comeback, but the lead is still in favor of Corp.
It certainly is. We just saw Minu come in and try to run through all the way, but takes out. But we're going to see an incoming touchdown coming in from PD. He gets at least 2 there, and that allows Shane to just burn them to ashes. And it means that we'll be Octo the whole control again here right now. And you've got to ask yourself, if you're Corp, they need to stack up. They need to hit as a team. They're dripping in here right now. You can see they're all going to hit the wall run in this one. It's just so smooth when they run across it. But is it going to be enough? PD gets 2. That's going to be a touchdown again. And they're going to be in so much trouble. They funneled through the wall run. Not going to work for them, though. They all end up going down as they face the combined guns of Octo.
I don't know whose Venom gadget that was, but that's a very interesting combination to have this sort of stun from Juke and having a Venom mine on top, so they're stuck in that sort of cloud of damage going on. Now we're into extended battle, and the lead is in favor of Octo, only 50% for the side of Corp, and you're trying Minu to try and sprint into the hill and get some kills, but it's still gonna dwindle down, and Shane's going absolutely huge with 2.
Managed to get them, but it looks like they're trying to get down. They're going to almost end this one here now. They have the control, and it will be Octo to take that first map. Ended up locking it down, and that was all down to strategy. It was back and forth to begin with, Jen, but once they went and go, you know what, let's get Tower on the outside. We'll have our Juke to stun anybody. Shane will continue running Blaze, and we have Ghost as well. They actually ended up having a zone that has 3 cuts, 2 doors and outside. They went, no, let's make it 1. If we hold the outside, we've got the sight lines to see them coming, we can then lock them down with our abilities, and if they come to the middle, they have to either go through tower, and it's only Colt or Blaze who can do it, or you're going to have Duke run in and stun the pair of them. So they've had very little opportunity to actually break into that zone effectively, and it just meant that, you know, if you're on Corp, you were so frustrated then.
Yeah, and just the coordination of abilities to either break the point or hold it is so important.
They managed to take the lead here in Series 4. Of course, we're going to go on to map 2 in this series and see whether or not Corp can adjust. If Octo take it, they take everything. But can the Corp fight back? That is our question as we head into our next map. It is, of course, Apex, the rooftop of Corp's headquarters.
Well, I'm still rooting for the Corp comeback. I don't know about you, but I still believe, even though they're down right now, best of 3, this is winner takes all. Octo will take it all. But we'll see what kind of compositions we have so far. Tower on both sides, and looks like a Monarch from PT. And of course the Blaze, but what? Shane is not running a Blaze?
No, he has made a little bit of a change. I expect to see him switch back after he dies a few times and goes back. But let's actually stay on board with PD now, because he is running that Monarch, so I want to see him sniping onto this zone as well. But again, it's that familiar zone we saw earlier on. It's going to be around that central mid pillar. And you're going to ask yourself, how effective is Monarch going to be here? Probably not very.
Yeah, and Tower's trying to put some damage into the point. All the kills going in favor of Quicker's team here, as they're going to be soon to get the point. And Dan's trying to find a smash and finally does. So the point should be captured in favor of Team Corp, as now Octo maybe going to reconsider a change.
Well, here's a little bit different. Last time we played this map and had this zone, we actually ended up seeing Corp run a Blaze and a Colt. This time we only have a Blaze, whereas Octo with the team going to be running a Colt and a Blaze as well. Let's see if that ends up working out for them here as well. Right now, Swift doing an awful lot of work in the hands of Beanates, taking down many players, but ends up getting shut down by the pulse shield bash of Tower.
Yeah, and on the side of Octo, they have a Colt and a Blaze, and on this side here, they only have a Blaze, but they have the lock. Mojo's running the lock to be able to get the sort of longer range and try and put damage into the into Colt and into Blaze, so he doesn't have to get near them. Shane, but however, he did switch to Blaze, and now he's picking up a lot more kills, 24% to 20, and growing in favor of Team Octo.
Unfortunately, Shane ends up running out of fuel there for his Flame-O-Matic. Gets shut down before he can do anything more. He had an opportunity to take down 2 of the enemy team, not quite able to, and here comes the Corporation once again to try and wrest control back. It's going to be Beanates with Swift running around here, also has that, and you see the poison come in at the same time. He is poisoned. That's going to be the Venom one. He's desperately reloading his shotgun, trying to get it, hits it, so his own warps all the way back, and not quite able to stay alive as incoming Tower with a shield bash.
Yeah, Pizza with the double bash and Shane with the 3rd kill, so they're going to be holding this for now, as the Team Corp here now need to regroup, consider maybe changing an agent, and work on those core charges using their abilities here. Gotta watch out for Ollie on that Monarch to see if he can get those kills on rotation.
Well, it looks like what he might be doing is staying away from the actual zone here and just putting fire in. That's something we haven't seen a lot of people doing, and it is working for him. So he takes down quicker than you. But if they hide behind that pillar or a tower comes in, it's not going to be as effective, and he's got to be careful of anyone coming behind him as well. But I think it might be effective just to take so much damage into that zone. Here you go. His teammates now flooding in.
Yeah, Shane's picking up some kills, finally gets traded out. Pizza with the 2nd kill, and he's trying to find another one, bashing to this player, but he's got fire in his face, but Shane's putting some fire back. It is a barbecue onto the point. That's going to be a retake.
Well, Ollie, still staying alive, is actually going to end up going out here as well, but that was a very effective tactic. We said might not be effective actually on this zone. He found a way to make it work. And you can see now Blaze coming in again, and he's going to get shut straight down. You can hear callouts coming in from the teams as well. Shut down Blaze, shut him down, and they go straight for him, using Tower's shield bash to take him down. So because Blaze doesn't have as much health as some of the other agents in this game.
Mojo is getting some nice kills there, I believe almost the 3rd one there, but it is 58% to 93, still in favor of Octo, but it's getting close to that, almost that 99 to 99 where we've seen before, and Shane going absolutely huge as usual on Blaze, but so many Venom gadgets and fire and shield bashing from Pizza. What a great game we're seeing out of Pizza with the shield bashing that we're seeing, and they're able to hold it for now.
It's almost all over. It's going to be Octo in control. They are 1 away. There is no contest coming in, and that will be all she wrote. They end up shutting it down, and Team Octo will take the win here and the entire series. Series score 3-1 in favor of them. The Corp, just not good enough. It has, and I've had a great fun kind of seeing the players interact with these agents and see, you know, how they want to adapt their playstyle and the discussion going on. Who do we need? Where do we need it? What is the zone? Is it going to be close quarters? Do we need a little bit more long range coming in? How are we using our defenders? Even the assassins came in great. We saw some great ghost plays come down as well. And I think kind of just the diversity of the way that these teams ended up interacting in these zones time and time again really spoke to kind of the flavor of this competition.
And also just to touch on the sort of player skill that we have here, the different options and the preferences you can have in the game of either auto shoot, manual shoot, what type of aim you can have. And there's agents that are very difficult, maybe require a little bit more skill and finesse to play. And then there are some characters that are maybe a little bit more basic and easy to pick up. Like at least start with Locke, work your way up.
You certainly can. All right, well, let's throw it to Matt once again to take us home.
So some awesome scenes there. Congratulations to Team Octo coming out with the big win on the day. Guys, how did you clinch this one?
Well, considering us four have only met each other 24 hours ago, I mean, it feels like we've known each other since childbirth. The chemistry was absolutely incredible. Thanks to Ollie, though. He helped majorly with what character to pick. It was like a perfect balance, and I think the other team felt the full force of that.
Awesome stuff. And like Pizza, yeah, talk to us about the balance of the team and how you guys ended up really holding those zones at crucial moments.
I think that actually holding the zones came down to the defenders all the time. We would have two attackers, two defenders, and the defenders would go in and just shield up. Especially myself with Tower, I would go and enter the areas and instantly bring the shield up and wait for the rest of the team to get back into that area so we can win.
I think we've really seen the advantage of teamwork here. I think some of the time Corp went off a little bit on their own. Can you guys speak to, you know, the strength in terms of your team strategy and how you guys came together?
I think that our team just clicked instantly, and I think that the players that we chose to pick, the characters, just worked perfectly together, and we really clicked as a team as well.
And Ollie, how much does team strategy have to vary depending on the map that you're on and depending on where, you know, the zone is placed? Because obviously there are 3 points on each map where the zone could potentially be. How did that factor into your guys' wins today?
All the maps, all the zones that we encountered that were in the small, we struggled sometimes unless we had our lineup of having Blaze, Ghost, and Tower, and Ronin. Our main objective was always to take out B-Nates and Mojo. They were a threat. They were there pure damage with their cult. That was our main objective, and we would always execute on that. And if we didn't, we'd always get in trouble.
Cool, guys. So there you have it. It's not necessarily all about the points. It's about getting stuck in and making sure you control the zone. All right, so one final question. With the game out now, are you guys ready to defend your title?
Yes.
Here we are.
Bring it on.
Brilliant stuff. Well, congratulations to Team Octo. Superb performance.
Well, right now it's going to be Shane. Still going, still running. Shane is birding his way through this hill. You see one more play coming, it's going to be... He runs as it is.
Wow, some absolutely incredible scenes there. Congratulations go to Team Octo for winning the day, but man, there were some players on fire there, sometimes quite literally in the case of Blaze's victims. Thank you so much to our players, our casters, and everyone involved today. Thank you for tuning in and watching. This has been a great Modern Combat Versus launch event. Don't forget to go and download the game. You can do so for free on iOS, Android, and Windows 10. I've been Matt from Gameloft. We'll see you on the battlefield.